All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know what send me if it could flee. Me have to take away me say. Me have to take away me say. Me have to hide like a thief in the night. Me have to get out of sight. Me have to take away me say. Have to take away me say. I have to utilize I weeds. Surely I leave her this relationship I'm gonna desist. But how can I face you when all I wanna do is just taste you? I know you think I play me, I play you, but soon you're gonna see the light of day. Just relax, don't move an inch. I'll be gone in a pinch. May I feel take away myself. May I feel take away myself. May I feel I like a thief in the night. May I forget all the sight. May I feel take away myself. Take away myself. I have to utilize I will.
Greetings, kings and queens. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast. This is Franco along with Flavius. And today we have a special guest. Our guest today is Heru Menelik. And Heru Menelik will be here to talk to us today. He is the High Commissioner of the UNIA in Jamaica, and also the chairman of the Marcus Garvey People's Political Party. I have Flavius with me this morning. So, how you doing, Flavius?
I'm doing well. Good morning, Franco. I'm doing very well. You know, we start with sunshine again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that is becoming the order of the day, and I must tell you, the nights have been warming up a bit. not.
You start complaining about the warmness already.
No, I'm not complaining. It is a perfect temperature right now.
Okay.
If you could ever have a perfect temperature, that is what we have now.
You know, sometimes you can predict when all the season going in, or what hurricane, if you're going to get hurricane landing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just looking at yesterday weather, for instance. We started out with a little bit of sunshine, and then we start having rain. And throughout the course of the show, it looked at one stage as if, like now, it was going to be a sunny day. Then within 10 minutes, it just rained right up until about 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I was saying to myself, it seemed like we're going to have a hurricane this year, because I've never seen a January started out like this. And
February, really,
well, February. So I guess also the whole consciousness of global warming is really showing itself to those who don't believe. To those who don't believe. So today we have another interesting guest, and the gentleman who is coming this morning is Heru Menelik. I don't know who Heru Menelik is, but Flavius knows something about him. From what I know is just from his bio. But I'm ready to hear what he has to say.
I have known him for 30, 40 years.
That's a long time, man.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a close friend, I would say, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not spoken to him since his new appointments and all that.
Okay. Mm. Well, before
it's a very big topic. Very big topic.
And he's a
and we are looking to see where they are know what they're doing, what they're proposing, you know. It's Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey. And people are putting in a lot of work to keep Marcus Garvey alive and all the things that he had brought to the world, you know, especially us, because he's a native son of Jamaica. Very, very, very powerful gentleman. In fact, I knew one of his sons. One of his sons taught at the school I went to, although he did not teach me. And I think he actually taught Courtney.
At KT.
Yeah, at KT, yeah. So, you know, his son followed in his footsteps and did a lot of good work, trying to get black people to be who they are, who they should be, and to be very proud of who they are. So it will be, I think he will come with a lot of information that we would like to hear about.
Yeah, the proud part, I can't say we're a proud set of people. That I can't push that aside. Anyway, before we go any further, I'm gonna bring in Cherry Natural. And Cherry Natural gonna do a song for us this morning.
Oh yeah.
And then we're gonna go into Did You Know? Right, let's take it away.
It's a recipe for total disaster. If you have a dispute with a friend or a family member, stay far from social media. When the adrenaline rush to your brain, just keep calm and remain sane. Don't react too quick, you will get caught with the insecure matrix. When head chip, vengeance cast loose tongue to slip. So before you spit, edit the script. Gossip is toxic. Gossip is toxic. The only thing it creates is shame and regrets. Life is like a boomerang. The cause return with the effects. So think before you post. One click, like magic, the whole of your business exposed. No one cares about the source or who you be. Public opinions will tie you up into a verbal knot and bore holes into your stories. Excavate your past mistakes and bring your darkest secrets to the surface. Life comes with conditions and conflicts. Closets are filled to the brim with dirty linens. Wash them at home, not in the public. Taking down someone with a post on Instagram to stroke your ego might go viral, but it won't make you into a hero. You become a rival, putting unnecessary pressure on your survival. When finger percent, prepare for the consequence. You are going to need a parachute, cause when the feces hits the fan, you're going down too. You're going down too. Even if you know it's the truth, mum is the word. Sometimes it's best to stay mute. So think before you post. One click like magic, the whole of your business exposed. No one cares about the source or who you be. Public opinions will tie you up into a verbal knot and bore holes into your stories. Excavate your past mistakes and bring your darkest secrets to the surface. Bring your darkest secrets to the surface. Using words as weapon to win your wars will only leave victims with internal scars. Nobody wins. Words are not just wind. Words are swords with sharp blades, ready to cut your character into thousands of little pieces as it pleases. When the damage is done, it's going to take amnesia to forget and courage to forgive. Loyalty, don't betray even if you disagree. Trust don't need an audience. It's a pact you make with self. The tongue don't have a mind of its own. It loses control when there is no consciousness. Love is unconditional. Love is unconditional. It comes with no pretense. Success is the only revenge that makes sense. Success is the only revenge that makes sense.
Well, this one is a bombshell.
Mix up back one, blend up back one. That's that thing, never see this from Shibon. Social media a boss, Lord. And not everything glitter, you go put it on Twitter. You feel smart and clever, and everything you feel share. I want like clown of the year. Don't bring your life nightmare over likes and share. Don't throw your business out there. Cause this I wanna read epidemic. Everybody get proof on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Girls and a man a picture in a bathroom. I feel next thing it a line I get rant and rave. Some people don't know if they post. Mama read over foreign and never get divorced. A Jamaica post it online and the wife sister see no way rock up in a jail over stupidity. You shouldn't post. I get hype on a post, Lord. Even if you like Twitter, do not put it on Twitter. You be smart and clever. And
Well, this one is a bombshell.
don't become the next clown of the year. Don't bring your life nightmare over likes and share. Don't show your business out there. Now everybody a target, everything I expose. Wanted man get catch to him a tweet and a post. Media junkie no east. Laptop and phone, so the thief check your page and know when you owe man. Full of big job and get Western Street. Not a soul, so suspect him take the kind of money. But he buy him girlfriend of a suit a Gucci and she post it online and say some things not for post. I get hype and a post, Lord. And everything glitter, you go put it on Twitter. You be smart and clever. And everything you feel share. Now one like say you don't care. Cause even if you're vexed with your man, I put it on Instagram, work it out. Cause I know yes you can, Man tell your wife him and a foreign pan a business trip. And every day I'm calling, tell her how him love and miss. Until her friends and her some mix with some Instagram pics. With a husband and a girl that hold hands and kiss. My gosh, you grow your kids just like a parent should. Try to shield them from the bad and teach them all that's good. Can you imagine someone sending you a viral clip with your daughter and your son that do some spiral list? You shouldn't post. I get hype and a post, Lord. And everything glitter, you go post it on Twitter. You feel smart and clever. And everything you feel share. I want like clown of the year. Don't bring your life nightmare.
Tasha T. Social media hype. The video is now out on reggaeville.com. And of course, earlier you heard from Cherry Natural, Think Before You Post. So these are two social media songs that you must pay attention to. I know everything you have post. Yes, Flavius.
Yes, sir. Yeah, people have to be very careful what they click on these days. Very careful.
Oh yes, we have to be careful. I know everything you fi post. Too big tune, man. Too big tune.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I saw on 2020, a long while now, how the police, FBI agents, CIA, you name them, how they use social media and capture a lot of wanted men, women as well.
Oh yeah.
And for one instance, they were showing you this guy committed a crime, like in another states, about 8 years ago, and he moved to all the way on the west coast, and he knew some friends who were pretty much over in LA, and then one Labor Day he went over to have a barbecue with them and thing. Now this guy don't have a Facebook now, nothing, no social media page, but
he's not on the planet, man. He's not on the planet.
Oh, so his girlfriend, she was inside the house with some other friends, and like they were saying, wow, look at Flavius and his friends, they haven't seen each other in how many years, let me take a picture. And she just put her phone up to the window and bam, take a picture of them all. and post it. Like she just said, my boyfriend and his schoolmates from way. You know them find that guy.
Oh yeah.
So when they told him, how they capture him, he said, "But I don't have a Facebook page." I said, "Oh no, we know, we know, because we've been doing some face check every day, and we were surprised when we saw your name your face pop up on the screen in front of us." Yep.
I saw a movie like that, where this girl, she was just totally off the grid,
Mm-hmm.
and then she met this guy, and this guy thought she was so beautiful and whatever, because she's telling him, no photos are not like that.
Mm-hmm.
And while she was asleep, he took a photo of her face,
mm-hmm.
and of course went to work, showed it to his friends, them, and sending on pictures and all that, and that's how the FBI found her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. When he told her that he took the picture, and she got crazy, and then she trying to see how she can, she can.
I see the movie. I saw the movie. Yeah, I saw the movie. Yeah, I saw that movie too. Mm-hmm.
And the picture of it out there, it couldn't be covered.
Exactly. Once it hit out, man. Even if you delete it, look how many times you delete it from where you post it. It already gone 12,000 hits already with other people. News multiply by 2, things spread like wildfire. Mm-hmm.
Let me just say this now, as somebody who understands the computer business a little bit, Nothing can be deleted. Even when you delete it 10 times, it cannot be deleted.
Mm-hmm.
In order for you to delete something off of the computer, you know what you have to do?
No.
You have to physically write over. You have to write over that thing with like some X's or zeros like 100 times,
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be deleted. It's amazing. From it's written there, it's there until something overwrites it.
Once it hit it.
What happens? You have a switch that says, okay, it is deleted. But that don't mean nothing. Anybody can go in and change back that switch from off to on, and you're back on.
I have some people can recover it too. Deleted stuff, people can recover it too as well.
No, that's what I'm telling you. I can recover it.
Mm.
The only way it cannot be discovered is if you mark some X's into the space. It's like you have something in the yard and you plant something there and it keep growing. And you have to probably drop some cement and thing in there.
But in the sense of, say, somebody posts something, say, on Facebook, and they go back and delete it, but they had already tagged it to somebody else or some other sites. That's impossible to retrieve.
No, it's not.
And delete it.
But let me tell you, Facebook is just a simple computer them have,
Mm-hmm.
So it's written on their computer unless somebody come and they use or reuse that space.
Mm-hmm.
But they have so much computer hard drive space that them don't need to reuse anything. They can always go back and recover. Not to mention that why can't we delete again? That the government wants everything to stay intact, so them can always come back 10 years if you have a court case or whatever, and then tell you that you did this or did that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If you delete it from your end, it's still on their drive. Not because you delete it from your P. Yeah.
It's forever.
All right.
That don't mean nothing.
Let me let you get into your did you know before we lose you. See what I'm talking about? Now I'm losing him. Yes, we're gonna see if we can get back Flavius in a few minutes while we play the Did You Know theme song.
walking on sand and holding your hand. Feel like a tourist in my own homeland, in my own homeland. Enjoying the brights.
Yes, Flavius, with this morning, did you know?
Oh my God, what a beautiful
Yes, morning again, listeners and viewers. Today we're going to look at the first settlement by the British in Barbados, and also the first capital of the country of Barbados, Old Town. Did you know that Old Town, spelled Holeton, one word, was the first settlement of the British in Barbados and became the country's first capital? In 1625, Old Town, formerly as St. James's Town, was the site of initial English settlement of Barbados, although Captain Cataline had previously landed to collect water in 1620. The envoy led by John Powell was blown off course from South America to England and took the opportunity to claim the island for the Kingdom of England. Some personal possessions were left behind and the crew departed Old Town for England. On February 17, 1627, the brother of Captain John Powell, Captain Henry Powell, aboard the Olive Blossom, returned with his benefactor, Sir William Courtine, a just-born English merchant trader, and 50 other shareholder settlers, and 10 captive Negroes. A monument erected to commemorate this first landing on the island erroneously recorded the date as 1605. This was corrected in the book written by Maurice Greenidge, Old Town Settlement Revisited. And I must say, I'm a proud owner of a signed copy of that book on my center table. Since 1977, the town has also celebrated the Barbados Old Town Festival to commemorate this landing. The name Old Town comes from the stream, the Ole, which provide a safe landing place for the settlers. Also sometimes called St. James's Town, the settlement was, until 1629, the island's only town. Old Town celebrates the founding of the first 5 plantations in Barbados, the first major fortification, the first place of justice, and the first governor's house. The town was also involved in the transatlantic trade with Bristol, England, and Boston, although this last was deemed illegal. After Lord Carlisle gained control of Barbados as a protectorate of the Crown, he decided to found his own settlement in the southern part of the island. Carlisle's move gave way to Bridgetown, being selected along Carlisle Bay, and a shift of the capital for the island to that location. The island's oldest church, St. James Parish Church, was erected in Old Town in 1628, a year after the first settlers landed. That is Did You Know for today.
The space is another little heaven. East or west, couldn't care less. Ooh, this place, it is definitely blessed. My own homeland. North or south, feel free to wander about. You can jump, dance, or sing and shout in my own homeland.
Did you know is brought to you courtesy of Slowly Jamaica, uniquely Caribbean. So in case you didn't know, now you know.
It's nice. You feel like royalty, my friend.
Well, this one is a bombshell.
Hi, this is Tom Hall, and I'm inviting you to hang out with Flavius and Franco on the Real Stuff podcast. They're such great company.
You were the man in my life. I would like to take you to my home to be with me forever. I really love you, baby. Want you forever. Really love you, baby. Really want you, baby. I wish that you were the man in my to take you to my home to be with me forever. I really love you, baby. Really love you, baby. Want you forever. Really love you, baby. Really want you, baby. Love I will give you is so powerful, so special. Under your skin it will flow. Through your veins, my love's insane. This love I give, I just can't stop. It's in your face, even when you turn your back. And just like a magnifying glass, the heat that I transmit will melt your heart. I wish that you were the man in my life. I would like to take you to my home to be with me forever.
Yes, the music of Miss Pam Hall, Want You Forever. Make sure you get your copy at all digital download platform. Our guest this morning is none other than Heru Ishakamusa Menelik Esquire. Is the High Commissioner of the UNIA in Jamaica, also chairman of the Marcus Garvey People's Political Party, a justice of the peace, and a lay magistrate. Yes, Kings and Queen, Real Stuff podcast. Let's welcome Heru. Greetings, Heru.
Greetings and blessed love. enough energy, positive energy going out there in the African world. As the Honorable Marcus Garvey say, Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. Blessed love.
Yes, man. Nice greetings. Nice greetings. Let's get straight into the discussion this man without any holdback. All right. I want you to tell me, or tell our viewers, listeners this morning about you yourself first. We want to know about yourself first before we get into the different organizations and the different projects that is going on with the UNIA division in Jamaica. So who is Heru Menelik?
Well, I am a Pan Africanist, a Garveyite, Rastafari, Yorubaite. I embrace everything that is black, because this is where we understand that the world, the universe began in blackness. Before God could say, let there be light, we were in blackness. So black is the first.
True.
And I embrace it. As a child, I attended Kingston Technical High School, and I was taught by the Honorable Marcus Garvey Jnr. He taught me engineering science and introduced me to Mr. Garvey's philosophy. And I've never deterred or regretted a second of that journey that I've been on. Because we have to understand that we as a people must define ourselves. We cannot allow the white man to write a dictionary with the word black meaning evil. We must write our dictionary with the black meaning beautiful, wonderful. So this is my life's mission. I became a member of the UNIA in 1964 as a child, and I've never left the UNIA. This is where the black man's government was instituted by the Honorable Marcus Garvey in 1914. And if we had stayed on that path, we would now be in the rightful place as the world leader. We are the world's richest continent. We are the world's most populous people. We are the world's first people. So we have to understand we must take our rightful place. And all the distractions that have been impacted upon us is because of misinformation by the white teaching that we have gotten.
True.
Mr. Garvey said, cast away the worship of a white God. If the white man wants to worship a white God, so be it. But I, Marcus Garvey, as a black man, shall see God through the eyes of Ethiopia. And we must understand that is the gravity of our problem when we have cast away the worship of our God and embrace a white image as the God of our realities.
So true. This brings me to ask you this question, right? The teaching of Marcus Garvey philosophy as it relates now to black people today. How are they grasping it? Because it's either some people now listen or some people don't even believe in using some of the same, things that Marcus mentioned in many of his books and his speech, like we as a people must have our own economy. So how is it relating to black people now today?
Sad to say, a lot of our politicians that are elected by the people to serve the people are tertiary educated, and they have still rejected the teachings of the Honorable Marcus Garvey in our schools. We have tried from in the 60s to get the teachings established in our schools, and the reality is that today it's still not is being done. Because we have to understand that when Mr. Garvey say, up you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will. God and nature first makes us what we are, and out of our own creative genius, we make ourselves what we want to be. This is true independence of thought. And when we lift up that independence of thought, we cannot be conquered. It is because of the false teachings of the whites that has impacted and given us this inferiority complex. When you look in the dictionary and you see black meaning evil and wicked and malicious, and everything that is black is not good. Black male, black ball, black sheep, very negative.
Black magic, black
We
market.
have to change that reality.
The curriculum, right? Say the subject of Marcus Garvey. Are there anyone from the UNIA division in Jamaica trying to get that established in schools?
Yes, myself included. I have met with 3 ministers of education, 3. And we presented curriculum, and I will extend it in 1997 when we're going to have Emancipation Day re-established as a holiday in Jamaica. We met with the Prime Minister of the day, and we said we, the members of the UNIA, would teach free of cost. We would go into the schools and teach Garvey's philosophy free of cost. It has not happened because the policymakers, have rejected Mr. Garvey's philosophy.
And why you think that is so? Is there, what you call it, what would I say? Is it a political reason, or them just want to continue brainwash the people?
It is political in a sense, and it is also self-hatred in another sense. Because if you embrace your blackness, and you have elevated the Honorable Marcus Garvey to the first national hero, then why, if he is elevated to that status, you're not willing to have his teachings in the schools, that we can create many, many more Mr. Garveys? It is because of the self-hatred. You know, I embraced a principal a couple years ago in Marcus Garvey Technical High School. And I said to him, "My African brother, greetings." And he said to me, "I am not an African." Bluntly, I am not an African.
Wow.
So we have to understand how deep the self-hatred is. How deep these people have alienated themselves from their African self. But we must change it. And we must start it in the schools. And this is why the UNIA have started the Marcus Garvey People's Political Party, that we can go and get the mandate from the people to become the government of Jamaica.
So let me ask you another question. It brings me to this other question. Can the teaching of Marcus Garvey be taught like in, say, in a place, educational, but like, say, the library? You know, like you get a spot and you do that like on the weekend where people who want to listen come by and listen, you know, large hall, you name it. Can it be done like that?
It can be done. It can be done. We have done classes like that. We have had schools that only during Black History Month we have gotten the opportunity to go into, and as an extracurricular subject that we have taught it. And even the teachers, they have learned so much that the teachers are now questioning why Mr. Garvey's philosophy is not being taught. The Honorable Marcus Garvey Jr.'s son, Dr. Julius Garvey, Dr. Julius Garvey has offered a curriculum to the Teachers College.
Okay.
Because he said, if the teachers don't know Mr. Garvey's philosophy, they can't teach it to the children. So he went to Michael College and actually told them that he's willing to finance the teaching of the curriculum in the school, in the tertiary schools, Michael College, etc. It has not been done.
Wow. Sound like they really block the teaching of Marcus Garvey, man.
Yes.
What we call a fight them a fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know for sure that every August in Jamaica, I don't know if it's still happening in Ocherios, but every August they usually put on a Marcus Garvey celebration there, and you have speakers and poets from all over would come by and, you know, drop their knowledge. Is it still going on in Jamaica?
Yes, we still have the it is done at the library, and it is done up by Marcus Garvey original home in St. Anne's Bay. But it is mainly the people's initiative.
Yeah, that's true. You have a point right there.
Can I ask you what the status of your political party now? Where are you now? Would you be ready for the next election?
We are hoping to get to that point because the EOJ, the Electoral Office of Jamaica, has instituted that you have to have 500 signed up, paid up members, and then you apply to become a political party, and then they would now give you the okay to become a political party. So we are now in that process.
Okay, wonderful.
You're now seeking members as well.
So,
yes, we have the membership drive going.
Yeah, how does one sign up?
We have meetings right across the island. We announce where we're having our meetings, and we have the membership forms that we hand out, and all it needs is to be signed up with $100 fee, and you're a member.
Well, we have to jump on that. We have to jump on that one, man.
No online process.
We are in the process of putting up a website, and as soon as that is completed, it shall be able to be done online.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful, because I think you get more action that way, especially now in Corona time, you know, when people not moving up and down so much.
Which
right? I think it's.
Go ahead.
I think it's something you should, you know, just keep working on because it is well needed. It is well needed.
Yeah, man, it for grow. All right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. You guys are establishing like a Liberty Farms in Jamaica, and I want to know more about the Liberty Farms.
Well, the Liberty Farm came out of the idea that we must eat what we grow and grow what we eat, especially now with a lot of GMO food that is altering the DNA of people. So we are actually now replicating what have been started in Liberia. 2 years ago in Liberia, we started the Liberty Farms in Liberia, which has reaped great crops so far. So in a few hours' time, I'll be visiting a farm in St. Catherine, Hill Run, which was donated by one of our members. And we are going to start planting all the crops that we think organically to sustain us, to move away from the GMO food that have become so popular nowadays.
Okay, sounds good. So these farms, you want to establish them, because I see on that they want 14 Liberty farms. Are going to be 14, one in each parish, or it doesn't really matter?
Yes, that was the idea, to have one in each parish.
Okay.
At least one.
And how many has been established so far?
We have 3 so far. One in St. Thomas and 2 in St. Catherine.
Oh, 2 in St. Catherine. St. Catherine so big, it get 2.
Yes.
Oh boy. So how are people reacting to these farms? Because I have been questioning my friends, including Flavius, about farming in Jamaica. Why we don't hear the government talking about farming, especially at this time. We're not growing our food. Can you give me some insight on that?
It is simple, you know. When you destroy your agriculture and you start to import most of what you eat, you become a slave to the importer. Now we have to understand what is happening. In the 60s, we were close to being self-sufficient in feeding ourselves. And since the IMF came in the picture, most of our local farm has been destroyed because 90% of the food that we consume is imported. When you look at simple carrots, that we grow such great carrots in St. Mary and in Portland, and we are now importing carrots, vegetables. I was in the supermarket recently and I saw a package of mixed vegetables. This was imported from Turkey. Turkey. So we have to understand the mindset of our people when they talk about this free market. To add insult to injury, you go into the supermarket, you can buy spring water that has been imported from Europe. Jamaica has been blessed with one of the purest water in the world. And we are importing, wasting foreign exchange to import spring water. When I questioned it with the Minister of Industry, the minister reminded me that it is a free market that we live in. So this is where the free market enterprise have destroyed your local industries.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. Them things bad because farming right now should be. I always said it that the Caribbean. Some people say no, it's not possible. The Caribbean can be the beltway, the food beltway of North America. You know.
Of course.
But
without a doubt.
Yeah, but we have to start taking this thing seriously, both on a political level too as well, because if the Ministry of Agriculture not helping out in terms of spreading the message across the island, so that both from a young age right up back to adults, they get involved in farming. Start a little farm, box on your veranda or in your backyard or the side of your yard or your house somewhere, so that.
Well, Franco, the government is being involved,
Yeah, but how deep?
No, very deep, but their involvement is in the form of more imports. Something that I put in red coats, something called fertilizer.
So that,
and they are pushing that on the farmers.
Yeah, that's not the involvement I want. You know, one of the involvement that we want.
We don't need fertilizers at all. Give us your opinion on that. The whole idea of so much fertilizers being imported. When we can grow our fertilizers anyway.
You heard what he said, Hero?
Yes, I was waiting until he completed his sentence.
Okay.
Well, we have to understand that the fertilizer that you use destroys the ecology of your soil. That is number one.
Of course.
You have to understand also that it is altering the DNA when these chemicals go in your body. So we have to understand that when you have chemicals like monosodium glutamate, phosphate, and all these things going into your structure, it is altering your DNA. It is making you more susceptible to certain diseases. And this is why the healthier society is moving towards organic, because that is the original. We have to understand also that the human body, and I stress, is organic. And when you put inorganic substances in this structure, it destroys the structure. It creates different ailments in the structure. So we have to realize that what we have been doing, we have been eating to make ourselves sick. And just like our health system was designed to make you sick, then try to cure you. That is reactive medicine. We have to move towards proactive medicine, that we maintain the system, that it does not get ill. That can only be done when you have the right nutrition in your structure. So we have to move away from all these additives in our food. The organic, and you see a lot of organic waste is thrown away. That organic waste can be recycled and produce the manure to create your organic crop, which is more healthier for you, the individual. So when you find, as is happening, Monsanto is putting a monopoly on seeds. And when you buy these seeds, the fruit that you get from those seeds cannot be replanted. So you become now dependent solely on the supply of seeds from these organizations. We have to know, as we are doing in Africa and Liberia, our original seeds, we are planting these seeds and raising our original crops organically, that we can be truly self-sufficient. That's the way forward.
Couldn't agree more. All right. One of the things, I have a friend, we always talk about her building our own economy, right? And I always figure that maybe a lot of people, whether they be black or white, don't understand the term your own economy, because it basically what Marcus was saying. We as a race, as a people, if you as a shoemaker, right, or we make shoes and we export our shoes. The guy who want to buy our shoes, they have to buy also the shoes lace from a next person who in our race as well. So we are selling both the shoes and the lace. We cannot afford to be having so many, what you call it now, professional black, and at the same time we are laborer for these guys who have built their empire, when we could easily, like, I'm going to use an example, like say Jamaica have a product what the world want, but yet still we are basically the laborer for these people. They sit up on their big thrones and they are the ones who is really marketing the product that Jamaica basically manufacture. Explain.
And you're so right. So right.
Yeah, explain.
When you look at a lot of the raw materials for the finished product, we have the raw material, but we don't get the add-on value. A simple example, Ghana produces cocoa, but Ghana does not produce chocolate. Switzerland does not have cocoa, but they produce the most chocolate in the world.
See?
And that is replicated across so many different crops.
So
we must be in charge of our crops and put the add-on value to it.
And how can we do that as a people? What are the things we need to put in place so that we can start working together and get this done?
Willpower.
Mr. Garvey said, we must lift up our businesses. And he showed it by example. In 1922, you had the Black Wall Street. That anything a black man needed, he could purchase it from another black person. They destroyed Black Wall Street in Oklahoma. In the 70s, we had restarted in Philadelphia, Brother Africa, with the MOVE organization. That too was destroyed. So we have to understand that there's a systematic pushback to what we do. But we must never give up. As Mr. Garvey said with the rallying cry, up you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will. We must have the will to do it. We must have the technology to do it. We must have the science to back it. And we must have the educational abilities to enforce it. This is the path that we are on today. By lifting up our farms, we're going to have our add-on value to our crops, and we're going to ensure that we export to our brothers and sisters right across the world in the African diaspora. We must stop being dependent on another man. Brother Malcolm X said it. If you are eating in the man's kitchen, you are still a slave. And this is from in the 1970s, Brother Malcolm X said that. We have to change that.
You know, it is one of the things I want to find out. I mentioned it to Flavius yesterday. And now that we have you on, I'm going to ask you a question. Marcus Garvey, right? Was he exonerated by the U.S.? No, right?
No.
What about Jamaica?
The charges had been removed from his record.
Okay.
This was done by the Honorable Babsy Grange, I think 2 or 3 years ago. Yes, she read the proclamation in Parliament.
Okay.
So Marcus is now a free man.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about the other eras?
Yes, the charges were removed from the other heroes also that had been incriminated. So they all have clean records in the Jamaican constitution.
Oh.
Okay, wonderful. We have all free people then. Yes, good.
But Marcus' philosophy seems to be feared by the Jamaican people. And I say Jamaican people, both from hierarchy come right back down to those who are in the political spectrum as well.
You have to understand that those who control big businesses in Jamaica, those are the ones that are afraid. I remember I gave a Black History Month talk at a Kiwanis club meeting. They invited me. And when I articulated that we must lift up our businesses, we must buy from black people, we must produce our farms and foods and get the economy going. After the presentation, a Chinese came over to me and said, But if that happens, my supermarket going to crash. Yes, he came over to me and said,
but
what you talking there now? If that happens, my supermarket will crash.
You hear that? him not saying, let us help you guys to set up something like that, so we can be traders.
Thank you.
I was in Jamaica.
He must always be Bucky Master over you, and you go there to support him.
Yeah. That's how them drop it.
When we are the majority. As I said to him, I said, we have not been given our rightful place. In 1929, Mr. Garvey said, in a political meeting right at Crossroads where that Texaco station is, how is it that one man owns 50,000 acres of land, one white man, and 50,000 black people own no land? It still happens today. Half of our population are homeless people. They have identified 753 squatter settlements, which houses 1 million black people as squatters. But also, what we must understand is that we have homeless people who don't know that they are homeless. Every Jamaican that pay rent is a homeless person. Because you live at the mercy of the landlord. If the landlord takes you to court and say, I need my premises by the 15th of next month, and if you don't remove by the 15th of next month, he can get the court bailiff and evict your goods and put it on the sidewalk. This happened to a big manager, and he almost went crazy. He couldn't believe it. He was evicted and put on the sidewalk. So we have 400,000 rent-paying Jamaicans that are homeless people also.
Yeah.
So when you add it all up, out of a population of 2.8 million, we have 1.4 million that is homeless people in the 21st century.
1.4, that's a lot,
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of homeless.
That's half the population.
Half
the population is homeless.
I was in Jamaica era, and this was 2014, and I was heading to Spanish Town in a taxi. It was the same day, I think it was the 15th of August. They had the Marcus Garvey celebration in Ocherius, and it was on the radio, the taxi car, where Mota was giving some statistics, and this wasn't something that he made up. He was getting it from the statistic department of Jamaica, whatever the name is, and he was breaking it down into race from the white man all the way down to the black man, and giving you the figures. And he was the last figure he came upon was the black population, and he put it at 2.9 million Jamaicans, right? Black people. So the other 1 point whatever cut down into between the Indian, the white, and the Chinese. And they own everything that the 2.9 millions population of black people have to buy from. And he asked the question, I want one of you who are listening out there if you call me and tell me what the richest black man in Jamaica. I'm being the richest black man based on legality by the goods where him sell or the product he's selling. And not one person call in, because nobody could name the richest black man in Jamaica, because there's none. Because everything that we use in our household, we have to purchase it from either the Chinese or the Indians or the white men. So it showed the big gap of disparity in Jamaica. How can we bridge that gap like that? In Flavius? How can we bridge a gap like that?
Ask Hero to speak on that.
In Hero? How can we bridge that gap, Hero?
Well, we are at that junction now, and I am glad you mentioned it at this most opportune moment. In conjunction with lifting up Liberty Farms, the process, we know we'll need money to do these things. We just celebrated Kwanzaa. And one of the principles of Kwanzaa, cooperative economics. Cooperative economics. Ujamaa. Now, what thing is popular in Jamaica is partner.
Yes, very good.
And
Very
we
much.
pay our partner to buy the television, to buy the laptop, to buy all these commercial items. So, in December when we were celebrating Kwanzaa, we decided that we're going to start an Ujamaa. But you know, in a partner, one person will get the last draw. You have to throw for it. If it goes for 20 weeks, one person will throw for 20 weeks before that person gets his draw, his or her. So we have decided to use the principle of cooperative economics, where we'll all get the last draw. We'll pool our money every week. But we are going to get the draw at the end of the partner. And this money we are going to use to invest in our farms. Every cent that goes into the partner will be used to develop a business. So the lady who does a shop, the first round, she will get to set up a shop or to increase the stock in her shop. The farm, we will be able to buy the equipment and the suckers and everything to get the farm going. And we are giving ourselves a 5-year cycle to be up and fully independent and running and be profitable. Using the principle of cooperative economics, Ujamaa. It is a
That
principle.
very interesting. Yes.
It is a principle that has worked in other jurisdictions, and I know it will work in this jurisdiction. So we are going to be investing in businesses. Economics have been one of our downfalls, and we are going to ensure that if Mr. Garvey could have major businesses in Oklahoma in 1922 using the same money from the black population, we are going to replicate and do it here.
That sounds very interesting. Very, very interesting. And I hope it materialize. I hope it materialize with the help and the cooperation of the people. As you mentioned about the Kwanzaa and the 7 principles, but the one that you mentioned, the Ujamaa, yes, one of the cooperative principle of Kwanzaa. So I hope them really utilize it as best as possible. You know, because you touch on nerves right there when you mention the partner, and it's a principle that Jamaicans have been using for years. And when you look at the ones them have now, they call it pyramid, and they say, oh no, it's not a pyramid, it's like a partner. It don't work nothing like a partner, because you have to bring in people in order for it to rotate. While with the partner, you can start a partner with 5 people, and it function the first you can run it like so. Boy, we're gonna do it 5 months. So every week we put in money until at the end of the month somebody get the draw for that full month, right down back to the 5th month. That person I just get the last draw. And that principle work. I know that principle work. You know the principle work. Flavius know it work. Because I've been in partners before. And I was able to purchase stuff that I needed along with, while in a credit union as well. So the principle that you mentioned, it can work, as it need the full cooperation of the people in that community for it to materialize. Now, one of the questions, because it's still bothering me, why is it so difficult for the curriculum to enter into the schools? I don't know, and you don't know either. Well, we're going to say political, it's a political blockade. If Marcus have been exonerated by the government of Jamaica and his philosophy can't be taught no school level whatsoever, then what is really going on? It brings me to this question from the UNIA. Your president, general? Is your president general trying to have dialogues with these members of parliament?
Yes, we have actually set up one meeting which it did not materialize. Mm-hmm. But when the President General returns to Jamaica, we are going to ensure that we have that meeting with the Honorable Minister.
Okay. But you have to get the oppositions involved too as well,
Very much so. Very much so.
You have to get them involved because when you travel and you hear people talk about Marcus Garvey and Bob Marley, and sometimes you hear some people say some things about these men, you wonder to yourself how they know so much, and if you don't know, you look like a fool in their conversation. So true. Yeah. And because you would be surprised to know how many people overseas are following the teaching of Marcus Garvey. And a lot of them don't even know that Bob Marley was following the same teaching of Marcus Garvey, where he mentioned certain things in his songs too as well. And not just his majesty alone. So,
and we have to understand that many great black leaders followed the philosophy of the Honorable Marcus Garvey. That black star in the flag for Ghana was put there in honor of the Black Star Line Shipping Company of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, done by Kwame Nkrumah.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh yes. Oh yes, and so
we have to understand the journey that we are coming from, and it did not happen overnight. In 1846 in America, there was a case, the Dred Scott case, in which the judge ruled that the black man had no rights that the white man was bound to respect. He further, in his summing up of the case, said a black man is 3/5 of a human. He is not a person. So when you see anything in the Constitution of America that says persons, it does not relate to the black man.
Okay.
So this is where we are coming from.
You're right.
We have to understand that the teaching itself that our black children get in the white schools put them in a state of inferiority complex. When you look in a dictionary that's supposed to define words for you, and you see white meaning beautiful and wonderful and pure, and black means evil and wicked and malicious, that puts you in a different space.
Oh yeah, a different mindset.
So we have to understand that these are the hurdles that we have to overcome, and this is why it is so important that the teachings of the Honorable Marcus Garvey be taught in our schools. And by extension, we must know, Mr. Garvey wrote it in African Fundamentalism, that we must cast away the hero worship of other white icons or images and start to elevate our people to that iconic stage.
Yeah, because
just as how we see the image of a Jesus placed on an almanac in your home for 1 year, that white image sends a subliminal message to every occupant of the house that this is the Son of God. So if this is a white image, then God white. And you know, I was at a school, a church-based school, and I pointed them to listen. The black man was here from the origin. I said, look, I asked one of the students, I said, take out your Bible. And I want you to read it. Genesis chapter 2, verse 13. It goes like this. The river that waters the Garden of Eden also runs through the land of Ethiopia. Now, this is at creation, you know. The river that runs through the Garden of Eden runs through the land of Ethiopia. So there's a symbiotic relationship with Ethiopia and the Garden of Eden and creation. So how then we don't know God? When we are the closest people to creation and to God. Because God made man in his own image and placed him in the Garden of Eden. So we have to understand that the misinformation and miseducation have put a lot of us in denial. When the Rasta man would say, Ethiopia first. Ethiopia was there from creation. They laugh at the Rasta man. They ridicule the Rasta man. But even the Greeks who are the first civilized European nation, they learned from the Africans in Egypt. And if you follow the history, the Egyptians learned from the Ethiopians. So we have to understand how the timeline has been set and how the story has been placed to us as a people. That even though we are the world's first people, the story spin it around as if we did not exist at creation. And the white man during slavery period enlightened us as a people. 2,000 years BC, we had written treatises that still exist today. We have on the walls of the pyramid, chiseled in the walls of the pyramid, excerpts from Proverbs. We have the 10 Commandments etched in the pyramids on the walls. What they call the admonitions to Goddess Ma'at. On the walls of the pyramid. That was later co-opted because we had 42 admonitions that was co-opted to become the 10 Commandments. So we have to understand where we are as a people and where we must position ourselves going forward in the 21st century. We cannot allow the white narrative to dictate who we are anymore. We must define ourselves as a people.
So right, you're so right.
That is where we are going forward. We must control, as Mr. Garvey said, where is the black man's government? I shall produce it. Where is the black man's people of high authority? I shall create it by establishing the UNIA and ACL. And, you know, when he established it, you know, he made a distinction that they were Negroes and they were Africans. the Universal Negro Improvement Association. So the Negro had to be improved.
Yeah.
And was accepted in the second half of the association, known as the African Communities League, the ACL. A lot of people overlook that, but it is a very salient point that he established that the Negro needed to be improved. Because he knew we were not Negroes. We were labeled as Negroes.
I was coming
so
to that.
After the improvement, and you know yourself, you are now accepted in the African Communities League.
Okay. You know, one time I heard Harry Belafonte mention something about the moving of the names. Himself first they started out with Negroes, then they moved to black, and now they drop it to African Americans. What next?
It was colored at one time also.
yeah, colored was in it.
Colored Americans.
So the man said, what next? Because they keep moving the names, you know, so which one? Well, I rather the one black because they're afraid of the word black. When they hear black power, black movement, black this, they're afraid of it. I happened to saw this movie recently, Jane Pittman, right? The story of Jane Pittman.
Life and Times of Miss Jane Pittman, yes.
I'm telling you, I implore everyone to see that movie because it's somebody telling you about slavery and how they look at the black race from them time. As you mentioned in your conversation that, you know, in America, if you're looking at any part of the Constitution and it mentioned person, it's not referring to black people.
Yes, and in 1846.
And it's the same way in that movie they show you. They consider black people as like animals, you know. They were nothing. That's what they tell them. You guys are nothing. You know, you can't be a part
sometimes
of it.
Less.
You know, you're less than everything.
Sometimes less than animals. Sometimes less than animals.
And I think movies sometimes they pick some things. I look upon it and say Western movies, old movies, they pick the history of the white man or him angle people of different race. They are afraid of people of different races. You know? And one of the
there's a great book written by Francis Cress-Welsing, The ISIS Papers. When you can get your hand on that book, have a read. The ISIS Papers by Francis Cress-Welsing.
I'm going to search for it.
I think that's I think so.
Well, you know, Teddy mentioned it to us the other day. What was it, in December, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, Teddy mentioned it to us. That same book.
Yeah.
And Heru just come mention it to us again. That means it's something to have in our collection.
Very much so.
Heru, let me ask you.
But let me just ask Franco. What's your take on employment and wages in Jamaica? Because one of the things I look at is that when you have like security and you have the dogs, and you are told that it costs more to rent the dogs than the person who have to go with the dog. The dog is more expensive.
It's a sad state. And we had called for what
indeed
is known as a scientific job evaluation. Now we have to understand the people who control the money. They are the ones that have set the stage that we can still be having a conversation like this today.
Oh yeah.
He who paid the piper calls the tune. In economics, I remember I did a course sometime in the 80s. And I never forget, one of the instructors said, well, these people never pay any worker what they are really worth. They pay what they think they need. Fast forward to 1969, when Air Jamaica started. The Canadians are the ones that started the airline. And when they proposed a pay scale for the workers of Air Jamaica, the government said to them, no, you cannot pay these people so much money. You're going to ruin our economy. Because the Canadians were paying the equivalent of what they paid their workers in Canada. And it is the exact thing that is happening. We don't have a minimum wage that is a livable wage. In Europe and other countries, a minimum wage is what is calculated as a living wage. You can live your life comfortable for a week off this wage. We have a pie in the sky minimum wage. And that is structured to put more profit in the employer or the owner's hands. And it persists to today.
Minimum wage.
Until we can have a scientific job evaluation that can rate each job to the input of the company's output pie, then we would have a different scenario. But let me hasten to add this. And, it is sad, but I want you to absorb it for what it is. Crime is inversely proportional to the wealth sharing of a nation. Crime is inversely proportional to the wealth sharing of a nation. If the wealth is not distributed equitably, then you're going to find pockets of resistance for people who are underpaid. And you find the propensity to steal because this person is not getting his or her worth. So they will, as they say in Jamaica, hustle a thing. We have to move towards the creation of an egalitarian society. In the PPP manifesto of Marcus Garvey, that was one of his number one planks. The creation of an egalitarian society. And he is the one who articulated for a 40-hour work week. Because in those days, it was easy for somebody to work 200 hours per week. Yes.
Enough hours that,
Yes, you're talking about 15-hour days.
Enough hours that. Oh my gosh.
So we have come a far way, but we still have even a further way to go. But as Brother Flavius said, we must possess the will to do it, and it will be done.
That's true. Will, power, strong mind, and the ability.
Yes.
We need that. I want to ask you a question before we leave, and it's about the youths of today. Our youths, because I don't think many of them are picking up a book to read. When they even use social media, they don't even read whatever is on social media, whether it's good or bad. But these youths.
An excellent point. An excellent point.
Our youth.
What the UNIA has done, we have started to adapt schools. We have adopted a basic school and we have adopted a primary school. That is a start.
Okay.
And that is one division of the UNIA. We are urging other divisions in their own communities to adopt a school. Because as you mentioned, the youth is at risk. There's a disconnect with the teachings of the Honorable Marcus Garvey and the school. We have also established what we call a Miss Black History Month contest, in which the contestants must have the criteria of knowing Black history. It is open to young ladies between 18 and 25 years of age. And we want to show that it is not only beauty, but you must have a command of your history. Know who you are, know where you are coming from. Lift up your self-esteem as a Black woman. And it is basically something that has lifted many of the young ladies that have. That contest have been going on since year 2000. We started it in year 2000. And all the young ladies that have participated have always come back to us as the organizers and said, you have helped me great a deal to know myself, because I didn't know that we as Black people were so great.
Wow.
So this is part of reinforcing and reconnecting with our past to our present.
Have you ever, I mean, have you and I ever thought about creating like an online institution where you can disseminate to people can sign on and do courses in the whole history of Black people, and in other areas too, that can help Black people progress quicker.
You heard that, Heru?
Not well, I didn't hear well.
Flavors, repeat the question.
Yeah, we're talking about set up an institution online where people from everywhere in the world can access and can participate, so the knowledge can go around easier and not necessarily wait on the established governments to change their policy, but to go out there and say, this is the UNIA, this is our training institute, and this is where you can learn about Marcus Garvey, and you can learn about Kwanzaa and the partner and all these economic stuff and all that, instead of waiting for some government to do your bidding for you.
Well, one of our assistant president generals, third assistant president general, Brother Shaka Barak, he lives in New York. He has started by putting up a Facebook page known as the Marcus Garvey Institute. And each week he puts a topic of history there, and he explains it, and he offers, anyone who calls in, they can get further clarification on whatever topic that he has put forward. So it is a start. In Jamaica, we have actually started also a sister page known as the Marcus Garvey Institute for Self-Reliance, in which we are putting forward self-help projects and historical events that we can, align ourselves with. So we have started.
But just to add that, it is very easy for you to set up a platform for yourself, independent of Facebook or any of these things, and that would serve your purpose better, because you don't have to compete with all the other things that is there. A dedicated platform for UNIA and does exact same things that Facebook does. And
well, that would be when we get our Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it don't cost a lot of money to start, you know.
Yeah.
But it's something. It's something you could speak to me about off the air. But I think that is something that is very necessary. Very necessary, because people can not only come and get information, but they can provide information from all around the world, whatever they are doing or whatever they need, you know, things like that. And it doesn't have to go through the whole Facebook thing or any other these platforms, because it still boils down to who controls it. You probably want something that is controlled by us and not by them. I think we are too comfortable just using what is there and not realizing that now is the time for us to create for ourselves, you know. I am into the thing about rewriting about us for us, and not to be very comfortable with what is written about us by them, whoever they are. And
so very true.
Just taking it. We just sit down and it's very comfortable. It's easy to get a Facebook account. It takes you 2 seconds, and you leave it at that. But I think we need more. I think we need more. We should push for a lot more, where we can do most of these things by ourselves. You know, I mean, it's not about isolation, but it's who's in control.
Yes, I realize that a couple attempts have been made by others in trying to put up a black page or a black internet or a black Facebook, whatever, and it has not been very successful. But I love the direction that you are pointing, and I think we should take it a step further. That could be one of the answers to our predicament.
Yep, we have to do it ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to do it ourselves. Yeah, we can't wait on them. We can't just use their stuff.
Hero, I have to ask you this last question before we leave. Hero Ishakamusa Menelik. What is the meaning of Ishakamusa?
Well, the name in itself is the Blessed Son of God.
Okay.
The Blessed Son of God. And what we did, I had to go through an African rites of passage by an African high priestess who came to Jamaica and took us up into the mountain for 9 days. 9 days. And at the end of the 9 days ritual, we were all given our African names.
Okay.
And I'm glad you touched on that the government now there is some problems, because I did that in 2015. And what is happening now in Jamaica, that we should have had a name changing ceremony this month in Black History Month. But what the registrar is saying, they are not allowing anyone to change all their 3 names anymore.
Really?
And no one is giving us a reason why.
They want to keep the Bakramaster name, man.
They want us to keep the Bakramaster name that ties us into England.
Yes.
As a brother looked at the birth certificate and said that we are still registered in England as a property of the Queen. There's a red number at the bottom of our birth certificate, and that number is your stock number.
Yes.
There are 3 numbers on your birth certificate. The registration number, which is 2 letters and 4 digits. There's a serial number at the top of the certificate, and there's that red number at the bottom. That red number at the bottom is your stock number. So we have to explore this further.
Well,
Yes.
the PUK.
I'm glad you mentioned it. You were able to tell us about, can't change all 3 names. I have 4 names, so it's going to be a problem for me to change mine even more.
Yes.
But Franco,
Yeah.
we are commodities.
Yes, that's what it is.
We can be sold on the stock exchange.
You're the man say we have a stock number at the end, the red number. Anyway,
That's what I'm saying.
Hero, we thank you. Can we come to the end of a very interesting chat session, reasoning session, and you enlighten us with some of the things that is happening in the UNIA, and I'm going to follow you up with the Liberty Farms, because I'm very much deeply interested in the Liberty Farms in Jamaica and to see the progress of it. So we want to bring you back whenever you have more news or information on some of the things that is happening, and when they materialize, we're giving you an open invitation. So you just get in touch with us and we'll make space for you. Okay?
Give thanks.
You want to talk about, just call us and we can slot you in. Call Courtney. We can slot you in.
These are interesting things that I know people want to hear and know about, and the progress of this, and you never know, help can come, from all walks of life.
Oh yeah.
So take care of yourself, Hero, and be safe out there.
Give thanks.
All right, my brother. Walk safe. One love.
Blessed love.
So Flavius, it's that time again.
Oh yes.
This time.
Yeah.
We know. Said.
But did you know that? Did you remember that today is a holiday in Jamaica? Do you have holiday up there too?
Ash Wednesday today, right? Huh?
Yeah.
I never remember it. But as you said, a holiday in Jamaica, that's the only thing that came to mind, Ash Wednesday.
Yeah, public holiday in Jamaica now. Yeah. Place is quiet.
It's a public holiday now?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Well, we come to the end of another Real Stuff podcast. Tomorrow we do it all over again. Tomorrow we have Chef Will Ward Jordan will do cook and curry, and Don in London will take us into some football and what's happening in England and other parts of Europe as well, because he's been flooding me from Monday with information, so I know he's very eager to come and talk to us.
Jump in.
Yep. And then on Friday in the Poetry Corner, Richie Innocence will be our guest. So as always, Flavius, I give you 30 seconds.
Okay, 30 seconds is good. As we go ahead, the whole climate is changing. Even up north, everything is changing as the time goes on. But one thing that is not changing thus far is Corona. So please don't change your protocol. You need to keep your protocol. And I always say, keep your home in a good way. Keep it sterile. So when you're at home, you can be at the most comfortable. But when you go out, you have to be on your guard and follow all protocols. And you do so when you come home too. If you go 10 times, you come back 10 times off with the clothes, get the shower, get yourself okay. You have to keep the discipline, and of course respect for yourself, respect for your family, your neighbors, everybody else. So it's still R&D. Corona is still here. We have to do what we have to do to be safe. Please keep safe and keep your family safe. Until tomorrow.
Yeah, don't always take care of yourself, your loved ones. Remember, prayer changes things regardless of what religion you belong to. Continue to pray and keep on praying. We have Queen Lubafu with the Garifuna language. the Our Father in the Garifuna language, and then Tafina will take us out. So stay safe and one love.
You lead us you belong far away Ajuguala Lebabu Seru Lida Mua Lida Sungfula Lida Mua Lida Sungfula.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer sorrow. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me do what set me if it could flee. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi hide like a thief.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
Me I fi take away me say. I fi take away me say. I fi utilize I weeds. Surely I leave her I said, yeah, I find you very hard to resist.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
But how can I face you when all I wanna do is just taste you?